right, a little bit of impact. I'm going to say everything needs to be said first, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts about what's going to happen mostly in Showdown and Battle for Glory. Opening 6-person tag. Now, this stemmed from when we had the King's Speech. We had Tricky, we had Keanu Jordan, we had a little bit of Indy Hartwell, we got a little bit of Matt with his protege, well, Matt and Jeff's protege of Leon Slater. We had a nice smudge of champions, and eventually a 6-person tag was set up by Santana. I know I could say Santino, but I'm saying Santina. Let me put it like this. Was the match alright? Yeah, it was alright. Santana was on commentary, and it was already stated by Trick Williams and by Santino in the very beginning of the show, when they were outside of the of Ebbington's well, I can't remember what the name of the arena is right now. I'm blanking, but he was told, "You cannot touch Trick Williams. You are forbidden." Then Trick Williams said in the ring, "If he touches me, through my lawyer, I made sure if he touches me, his match is gone." But it's understood that, and he didn't say this, if I touch him, it don't make no difference. He can whoop my ass as long as he don't touch me first. We get the match. Kaz shoves a little bit of Matt Hardy into a little bit of a Trick Williams, which he knew the moment he banged into Santana because he was facing him, said, "Go ahead, hit me, lose your opportunity." And then when he rammed into Santana, because Santana was standing there, Trick Williams was standing there, Kaz was pushed into Tricky by Matt Hardy. And through that chain of events, we got Trick Williams going, oh, he's crying like a little bitch. You can see him in his brain going, oh, fuck, why? No, please, no. And then he said, your ass is done, in the face. And he got his ass whooped. Was this a good segment? It was not meant to be a really serious segment, and especially the match itself. It did set up what was going to happen in Bound for Glory because of Keanu Jordan dealing a tiny bit with Indy Hartwell. She had a chance to get in the match with her. But this is just setting up for Bound for Glory. It's not really meant to be something big. It was just meant for something for them to do. Next match. We got the Angel Warriors of Xia Brookside and Ling Yang Lee. Well, Ling Yang Lee, sorry. Let me give it to you like this. We had Hezzy and Lawless. Two women from outside of TNA. Thank you. This is what I want to see more of TNA do. Every place they go. This is what I want from now on. I don't care if you guys like it or not. And I'm sure many do agree. Every state they go, or any country they go, for the knockouts, for singles matches or tag matches, let them deal with the people that are locally if there's a wrestling company nearby or a wrestling school nearby. I don't care. Give them fresh meat to work with so it makes the division look bigger. Yeah, of course we know they're not really from TNA, but at least they're not doing the same people over and over again like they did in the pandemic. We had 12 women that the only thing they did was the same matches over and over and over and over and over and again. And it was so annoying. I hated it. I wanted other women to work with the women in Impact Wrestling. If they keep doing this, they'll have my approval. They'll keep having my approval. Let there be more women from the outside come in, do a couple of matches, either singly or in tag, or both, and we make the division feel like there's more women there, that they're important. I'm just saying. I'm not surprised they won here. This is what they're supposed to do. But I'm not going to lie here. They were a bit sloppy. I think even though they work together, they're not bad. They need more time to be a real tag team. Working together on and off as a tag is one thing. Being a permanent tag is another, which, let's be honest, they're not going to be a permanent tag because they're also going to be doing singles because the roster still is not that big. Yes, they've had, 17, 18 women? But guess what? They don't show them. They keep showing the core women that they believe will make the best ratings, so that's the problem. It doesn't make a difference. They do some of the best matches that you don't see. You need them to do the best matches when you can't see it. Next, you got the hometown man versus Nick Nimitz. Now, Cody is from Canada, so this is the closest you're going to have to Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, which makes him the special hometown man. But then, kind of like what happened with the main event, don't you think you should have saved this if you're going to do something with these two guys? Because of the hometown man, and everyone keeps knowing it's Cody, and they really want him to stop wearing the mask. Don't you think it would have been better to do this at Bound for Glory? Yes, I know it's not a strong storyline, but it is a storyline. No, we get it here. We get this match right here. And the hometown man loses for the first time since he's donned the mask, showing his somewhat of his eyes and his face and whatever. This is the first match he's actually lost. Now, here's the thing. What does it do for both of them? People really like the hometown man gimmick. They do. It's not the point if you don't like it. It's the point that others do. He's become relevant. And now that he's been relevant, you now made him lose 1 week before Bound for Glory when you could have made it mean something at Bound for Glory. I'm not agreeing with this at all. I'm sorry. I am not agreeing with this. If he had to lose, that's fine. But couldn't you have done it at Bound for Glory or the kickoff show to Bound for Glory? At least make his build and his popularity mean something. But we get it here. Unless something bad has happened that Nick can't do anything or Cody can't do anything about for Glory, it made no sense to do it here. I'm moving on. Last match, Alicia Edwards versus Tasha Steelz. I'm not going to tell you this match was great because it was okay. I'm not going to tell you that Tasha is a bad wrestler because she's not. She's one of the best wrestlers they have. Even though she's not been wrestling much, she's been more character driven now because she's been part of Order 4 dressing. She's still a good looking damn woman. Yeah. You look good. But we are talking about Alicia Edwards here. Now, Alicia is a good mouthpiece, and she's a good heater. She's not an ugly woman. She's a good looking woman, and she's a good talker that pisses people off or gets people to care. One of the major problems of Alicia is that she's not here. She's a bit here. This is middle of the road. She's slightly under that. Sometimes, if you do a hardcore match, she can go above average. But in general, Alicia is a lower average wrestler. And when she goes in the ring, it shows. This is not me trying to insult her. This is not me trying to say that she's garbage because she's not. She may not be average. She's a bit below average. But she is solid enough as a below average wrestler to get the job done. But it is obvious that sometimes you can see that she's below average. You can see it. Even though can she rise to average? Yeah. But I want to make this clear. Very clear. Just because you're average or below average wrestler does not mean you can't be relevant. Again, the Brooklyn Brawler was relevant. The Bushwhackers were relevant. Coco Beware was relevant. Brutus the Barber Beefcake, who was my favorite wrestler. It was because of the barbershop segments. I loved it. Him in the ring, he was okay. He was not the greatest wrestler in the ring. He was an okay wrestler, but he was a great character. Relevancy is what drives pro wrestling. It's not just relevancy that you can do a hold or a big spot. Relevancy is a lot of factors, and one of them is character. And when it comes to Alicia, she does have character when she wants to be a character. And she is part of the system. She's a good character. So that's why she's important. I want to make this clear as the last match before we talk about all the segments. This match made no sense either. When you look at what happened, when it came to Nick and the hometown man, who is popular, You now have the Inspiration versus the Elegance brand for the Knockouts titles. Not at Bound for Glory, not at the kickoff of Bound for Glory, and not at Bound for Glory itself. It is here. Now, I understand why they did it. Because they did it because of NXT Showdown. That's the reason why. They did it for NXT Showdown. That is the reason why when you look at this match, it sucks. It sucks for Cass, it sucks for Jess, it sucks for Heather, and it sucks for M. Whether you like their ring work or not. This was only to cater to NXT. And I say this again. They could have used Xia Brookside. They could have used Ling Lang Lee. They could have used Tessa. They could have used Rosemary. They could have used really the most newest people there. They could have used Hudson. They could have used Jordan. Not Jordan, but Grace. I forgot her first name. They could have used, is it Grace or Gray? I can't remember because I haven't seen them much yet. Why didn't they use any of the new women to go into this thing? Or established women. You could have used Rosemary. You could have used Xia Brookside. They're very well established. They're well known. They're developed. You could have used them. If you didn't want to use Ling Yan Lee, fine. You didn't have to. And understand, Maya Shade, I'm not against her. Her going in the ring against men actually is going to help her grow her own brand, whether she stays with Impact and TNA or not. I'm about to say Impact. TNA or not. I do believe she has potential. But she just came from NXT only a few months ago. And when it comes to the Inspiration, they're known as the Iconics. They're more known as the Iconics than the Inspiration, no matter how you play it. When you look at how the Iconics came in 4 years ago, actually 3.5 years ago. Let's say it like that, 3.5 years ago, nearly 4 years ago, they came in, they stayed like the Iconics. They promised it would be different. They were not different. They stayed not 1 month, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. They stayed only 6 months and they left. Both of them got pregnant. One has 2 kids, I believe it's Cass. One has 1 kid, that's Jess. They come back, they're given a couple of months to build, and now they gain the titles. It feels rushed and it feels disrespectful to M by Elegance, to Heather by Elegance, to the Concierge, the Iceman, and it does make both Cass look bad and Jess look bad. Because if we're going to be honest here, and I'm being honest here, I do not buy 1 second that the women of TNA are going to win the 5-on-5 elimination at NXT Showdown. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping that this will show that WWE, Silver Lake WWE, really cares about TNA, wanting to see them grow and get their own recognition. This is WWE. This is TNA. Even if they came up to here, they wouldn't be even close to touching WWE. And you would hope that WWE is willing to put over the company. Hoping that when Showdown happens on this Tuesday, that they'll literally let them win the 5-on-5 for the men, the 5-on-5 to the women, and the matches that are crossover. Yes, you can have NXT win them, but let the 5-on-5 be won by the men and women of TNA. Make them look good. But if they don't, I will not be surprised. And again, it will be 100% what I said, that WWE does not give 2 damn flips about TNA. They'll think, as long as you got the exposure, just take what we give you. We're going to whoop your ass on nationwide TV. That's what it looks like. Moving on. These segments we got. I've already talked about this segment in the opening of the show. But the ones I cared about was when Tommy talked, when Gian Miller talked, and do I want to add in Joe Henry? I'm going to leave Joe Henry out because, yes, we now know Joe Henry is going to have a match again, and it's a no DQ match. I'm going to leave it there because maybe they may add something more at Bound for Glory, so I'm just going to leave it. First one, Tommy Dreamer came out with the entire crew. And kind of like what I just talked about, where I do not believe that NXT is not going to wipe the floor with TNA, he comes out and he makes it very clear, TNA is a family. And we're going to be doing the NXT showdown. And we're going to prove why this family is better than your wrestlers. Because we're going to whoop your ass, we're going to go to the extreme, and we're going to wipe the floor with you. Now, mind you, do I believe that they could win? I hope so. That doesn't mean do I believe. Do I believe they're going to win? No. Do I hope they're going to win? Yes. I am hoping beyond anything that TNA is allowed to get over big in this showdown with NXT, because I truly believe that TNA gave a lot of traction to NXT, and I truly believe this will help NXT more in the long run, that they get their asses whooped by TNA, because now they're going to have to make all those wrestlers look bad, and then they're going to have to write for them to try and say, okay, we just got beaten by a company. You guys are going to have to now step up and show that if you really want to be something more, whenever we face them again, we can. And this will give them a chance to write for them more thoroughly. That's what I'm thinking. Now, you're going to think I'm forgetting about Santana and his segment. No, I'm not. But I'm going to do Gia Miller first. Gia Miller and, of course, Tessa, they had the moment to talk. But now Gia Miller was attacked by Tessa. Now we're getting a match at Bound for Glory, as I said, when it came to Gia and Tessa. Problem is, it feels rushed. It feels rushed. There's your problem. Am I against it? No, because they want to make something with Gia and they want to do something with Tessa. Yes, but Tessa went away for a couple of weeks easily. And I don't remember why she went, either because she was going to do a movie, I believe. I do believe there was a movie she wanted to do or something. Don't know. You guys can tell me below what it was. I don't know what it was, why she went away for a couple of weeks easily. And then this story was developed. But it feels like it needed a month of build, not a week or two of build. Being honest here. And I'm going to say, well, what happened with Victoria Crawford? What happened to Victoria? It's not enough without Tessa there. Tessa needed to be there, and they needed to fight where it could be seen, not in the parking lot, but seen that she got attacked near the ring again. That would have helped. Am I against this feud? No. I'm hoping that we get a good match from these women, and you could go a little further than that after Bound for Glory, where they can do maybe a steel cage match, maybe an I Quit match, something that can add on to it. That's what I'm hoping for. But the final thing I want to talk about is the Santana Real Talk. I think that'll be the title. We got a member of SAT. I believe that's what it was called. I never saw that. Understand, the years that Santana was there, I missed him. When he was already in TNA before, when I started watching the revival of LAX with Conan with them. That was in the 2010s. I didn't see them before that. So I didn't see his development as a wrestler before he went to the Latin American exchange. So the question's going to be, for me back then, how good was he? But this guy that he was speaking to, which is not Homicide, which you guys already know, if you don't know, because I did a Gump report on him months ago. Homicide has a cyst in the brain, which unfortunately is putting pressure and is making one of his eyes go blind, and he's having problem thinking. I do believe it was a cyst. He's going blind in one eye, and he's having problem thinking because of this cyst. And it's unoperable as of this time, from what I understand. Unless there's a new revolutionary way to be able to reach it without damaging his brain, he has a unoperable situation. So this guy, I don't recognize him. He might be someone I know, I just don't remember him. He was talking to Santana, making it very clear that you're getting another shot at this. You've done us proud, but now, no more about our culture. No more about your daughter. No more about your daddy. This is about you getting that damn title and bringing it back here. Forget about all that crap. This is about you. Yes, what motivated you to get to this point was TNA, was your father, was your daughter. You straighten yourself out and not being fucked up. You managed to get hammered a nail back in you to make you straight as an arrow. In other words, when he went to rehab and straightened himself out from being an alcoholic in real life. But the point here is this. You must think about you now. It's not about everybody else. If it is about other people, it is not going to work because you tried this not once, but twice. No. This is it. You better get it done. Bring it back. Did I like that segment? I thought that was one of the best video pack segment. Well, not segment, it's video pack. I think they had. They had one before it, which was good. I think this was more poignant that he was sitting there and there was someone circling him, telling him what he's done right, what he's done wrong, and what he has to focus on. Because when Bound for Glory comes, I truly believe he will win that damn title. He's ready. You may not like Santana if people don't like him, but I truly believe he's been developed enough that he is ready to take the spot. But the question's going to be, and I'm making this very clear, not that they'll pull the trigger on him. I truly believe they will. It's about what they do with him after they pull the trigger. Because let's make this clear. I truly believe Santana is the best person to get that title. But the question is, can they write for him and make him be meaningful? In other words, relevant. Relevancy is incredibly important in pro wrestling, guys. You have no idea how important it means to be relevant in pro wrestling. It's not about being rich in pro wrestling. It's not about just being the best wrestler in pro wrestling. It's about being relevant. Going in the ring will give you some relevancy, but there's a huge chunk of everything else. Your character, your charisma, the way you speak, and the way you connect with the audience with all that in mind. If you just go in the ring and none of this is done, it means bullshit. Because there have been some incredible wrestlers who have never gotten anywhere. Not once did they ever get all the way where they needed to go. They needed to have a little bit of everything else to be able to become the best. Steve Austin was not the best because he drank beer better than anybody else. Because Sandman did it better. It was not about him drinking. It was about his work in the ring, and his character got him over. He is the most well-known and most famous character in history next to Hulk Hogan, The Rock, and John Cena. It doesn't make a difference you say, what about Triple H and anybody else in an H, and an H is important. But in recent memory, you got The Rock, you got Cena, you got Stone Cold Steve Austin, and they were relevant because of the work they did in and out of the ring. That's why you remember them. That's why you care about them. And with Santana, he's good in the ring as a tag team specialist. He's good in the ring as a singles competitor. He knows how to change it up. His character is great. But if you don't give him something to work with that character, he won't get anywhere. So this wasn't bad, but I don't agree what happened when it came to the Ashes versus the Inspiration. That was wrong. The hometown man working with Nick Nimitz and losing when he could do it at Bound for Glory or even a kickoff show didn't make any sense. But everything else was pretty good. Peace.